So, we have recently lost beloved film actor Gene Hackman. And as a result, I have been watching through some of the films that he's appeared in that I really enjoy. And I decided I want to make a video about what I think is one of his most underrated films, and that is The Birdcage, which was directed by Mike Nichols, written by Elaine May, and based on the French play and film La Cage aux Folles. And apologies if I am mispronouncing that. Now, I was first introduced to this film when I was younger, and at the time I liked it, but I did not love it. Like, my family really enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but not great. But as I've gotten older and I've rewatched it several times since, I have to say that I really do enjoy this film. It's not one of my favorite comedies of all time, but it's one that I really do think holds up nowadays. Like, it has a great script. You can tell that it's based on a play because it is very much written like a play. And I think this works well overall. I think that the pacing is executed very well for this film. It has good production design and costumes. I think it works well to show the vibrancy of the environment, which in this case is South Beach, Florida. It all looks very nice. You can tell that it was shot by Emmanuel Lubezki, and the production design was by Bo Welch, both of whom are very talented at their craft. It has a great cast. Like, this movie, in my opinion, made Robin Williams and Nathan Lane one of my favorite comedic duos of all time. Robin Williams is fantastic, obviously, he's very funny. But in my opinion, Nathan Lane absolutely steals the show here. Like, he had me dying every time he was on screen. Like, this is a funny movie in general, but Nathan Lane is what makes it as funny as it is. Like, this movie, in my opinion, is one of his best performances, and I think he deserves more recognition for it. I also think Hank Azaria is funny here. He does a good job with both his acting and his physicality. And I do think, talking about these characters, I should mention that in this film there are a lot of stereotypes, particularly around members of the LGBT plus community. But I do think that this movie manages to portray them with respect. It never feels like it's punching down. Like, even like Robin Williams and Nathan Lane even have some very good dramatic scenes here. Like, I think the dramatic scenes that they have together work very well. And I think that really shows the respect it's treating their characters. And of course, Gene Hackman and Diane Wiest are also, no pun intended, they're great straight men to Robin Williams and Nathan Lane in this. Like, both of these characters still manage to be funny. They have great moments where they're unsure of how to react to a situation they're in, since it's a very fast-paced farcical comedy. I think Gene Hackman, like, he has great barbs thrown his way, and that manages to be funny. And it's very funny seeing all of the moments where these characters care more about their careers than anything else. Like, it's great satire on politics and that whole environment. In fact, this is actually a film that has very smart political satire. Like, okay, so in the film, Gene Hackman's partner is the head of a organization that's pushing for morality and family values. And in the film, the partner is caught up in a scandal where he died in bed with an underage prostitute. And nobody in the film cares that this character exploited a minor, or that he might have previously done this and was just never caught. Like, the press only cares about how embarrassing this is seen as, and Gene Hackman only ever cares about how this is going to affect his own career, since he was so heavily tied to this politician. And I think that that makes this great political satire that will always be relevant. This idea of putting how others are affected aside and only caring about certain things for selfish reasons. This is one of those political satires that I think will always be relevant. So this is a very good film. I do have some minor complaints about it, though. I do think that there are some scenes that go on a bit too long, such as a scene with Robin Williams in Christine Baranski's office, And the initial dinner scene before Nathan Lane shows up, when it's just Robin Williams, Gene Hackman, Diane Wiest, and the son and the daughter. I do think it does go a bit slow before Nathan Lane shows up, but this doesn't really affect the film as a whole. Like, this is a 2 hour film. It feels like a 90-minute film, just one or two scenes that could have been trimmed a bit. Also, like, while there are some very good shots in here, like multiple one shot takes that are executed very well, this one scene with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane sitting in front of a boat as it leaves the dock is very well shot. But for the most part, it's kind of just your typical comedy movie directing. Like, it feels like something you would see in a Judd Apatow film for the most part. Some good shots, but for the most part, it does look a bit bland cinematography wise, or at least directing wise. And I think that the son in this is a bit too unlikable at points. Like, it's shown that he does not really care that much about Nathan Lane's feelings at multiple points. Like, Nathan Lane is clearly very upset about things the son is doing or asking him to do, and he doesn't care. Like, it feels very much like maybe you should have written this character to be a bit more sympathetic towards Nathan Lane in this, because it's a bit too much at times. I didn't like the son at certain points. But still, those are minor complaints. Overall, I think this is a very good film. It's very funny. It's the kind of political satire that will always be relevant, and I really recommend it. I hope that more people will be checking this film out. And I'm going to give this film an A minus. So those are my thoughts on the Birdcage. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And also go ahead and tell me what your favorite Gene Hackman film is. Thank you so much as always for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.